today Skyla is getting surgery. Skyla had to have her second emergency surgery. That means that we could have lost her last night. My baby is coming home. She's finally coming home. Skyla had to be admitted to intensive care last night. Good morning. It is Monday today, and today Skyla is getting surgery, so I thought I would just take a couple clips to have this as a memory. I don't know if it's gonna end up in a video or not, but just in case, I wanted to document this day. It is currently almost 9 a.m. right now, and Skyla has her surgery at 11, which means that she is with me currently still. I don't know if you can see her behind me here, but we're trying to keep her busy this morning, or just have her really far from where we keep her food to trick her into forgetting that we cannot feed her. She has been fed yesterday at 10 p.m. because after midnight she couldn't eat due to the surgery. So it's nothing like a big surgery or anything, but she's getting spayed today. She's 3 years old, so she's actually kind of old to do this, but she had a lot of health issues and we just had to push it back a lot. And unfortunately, I cannot go with her. My mom is the one who's going to be going, and it is breaking my heart. I am so stressed out and so sad that I have to stay home, but I have classes this morning, so I can't go with her. So my mom is going to take her. She said she will get me a little video just so that I can see that she's doing fine there, but it's really stressful for me to leave her go alone. But I know she's going to be fine, and it's not a big procedure or anything. And I've prepared my room to have her for the rest of the day if she cannot move too much. I don't know if you can see, I've freed up the space behind me, and we have a baby gate that we used to have when she was a puppy, so that I can just have her in the corner there, and she can rest and not do anything crazy for at least I think until tomorrow. And tomorrow she will be back at the vet for a checkup, so I'm gonna take you along for this journey. But right now my classes are about to start, so I need to go. So this is just me saying goodbye to Skyla. I was really sad. It was not a good time, and these are just the only clips I have from her at the vet that my mom got for me when she was falling asleep. And then this is her back at home, really sleepy. So it is now much later and Skyla is now home. It was a little bit complicated to get her to sleep. They had some troubles getting her an IV and all that, but the actual surgery went well. I'm so excited that she's back at home. She's currently right where I prepared her space. I don't have the gate yet, so she's free to go, but she can't walk. She's still it's been 3 hours now, and she's so groggy that she cannot even walk. It was so funny when my mom tried to get her to walk through the door to come home. She paused for a second, and Skyla found the wall next to the door and she leaned on it, so much so that she fell to the ground, slowly slipped to the ground and fell asleep against the wall. That was very funny. And then we just carried her to her bed, and she slept for a couple hours, and now she's in my room still sleeping. So the vet said that she was supposed to like wake up, and she said that by 6 she should like be awake, and it's currently past 4. So we're getting a little scared because she's not like waking up. So hopefully she just needs a little bit of more of a nap and then she will be fine. But I will give another update later. So, change of plan. We are bringing Skyla back to the vet for an emergency appointment because we called the office and she is not waking up, and they said that we had to like check her gums if they were like pink, but they were kind of like really pale and kind of white, which is not good. So they want us to bring her back. My parents are bringing her right now. I am not going with them, which is I'm so frustrated that it would be so complicated to have me with them. So they're going because they have to like, carry her. So having me and my wheelchair with them would be just like so inconvenient. But hopefully it's just because they had a hard time putting her to sleep. They had to give her twice as much like product like to anesthetize her. So hopefully it's just that she has a hard time like getting rid of the product in her system. But they want to just see her to make sure that there's nothing else going on. I am kind of freaking out, but hopefully everything will be fine. Bringing Skyla to the vet was the best decision we could have taken. They found some free fluid in her abdomen, and they decided to have another surgery to try and see what was going on. They thought it was some internal bleeding, so they did a second surgery and found a lot of bleeding. So I don't remember what I last said, like the last update or whatever, because my brain is a complete mess right now. I'm so freaked out right now. So Skyla had to have her second like emergency surgery, and it was supposed to be an hour, and they just called. It took 2 hours. And they found internal bleeding, but some of them weren't from the surgery, and they don't understand what is going on with her. So this is like very scary because I feel like I should have never let her have surgery if now she's gonna have more issues. And it's just like eating me up that I was the one who decided to do this. But my parents are on the way now, and they are going to keep her company. The vet is unfortunately not an overnight vet, because if they were, they would keep her. But because they don't have someone physically at the clinic at night to like watch her, basically, they can't keep her. So she's coming home, which is both so scary and a relief, because that means that I'm gonna be able to give her a big hug, because I just want to give her the biggest hug right now. What was I trying to say? but they're transferring her file to other vets in our area that have emergency overnight like openings. So we have to watch her tonight to see if she's doing okay, and if she's not, we have to rush to the vet. So I'm just like kind of panicking right now, but also like I don't know, it's like kind of too much for me right now. My grandma is on her way to keep me company because I cannot be alone right now. I really wanted to go with her, to be with her, but I've been really sick, and like I'm so ill. I can't go there. It would be like too much, especially with all the stress and stuff. So I'm like, I'm really sad that I can't be with her right now, and I really want to, but I'm physically not able to, and it's eating me up that I can't be there for her. I still have at least 2 hours until she's home, and it's currently 8 p.m., so I'm gonna have to find a way to occupy myself for that time. I don't know if I will be able to like give an update or anything, so we shall see if I can or not, or if I can give a positive update tomorrow morning, but I will see you whenever I see you, and let's hope for the best. Good morning, everyone. It is not a good morning for us. My parents went to the vet office last night, and there were some things about the surgery last night that they didn't tell us on the phone, and also some things that my parents didn't tell me to not freak me out and that I learned this morning. Basically, the surgery didn't go that well, other than the fact that they couldn't find why she was bleeding. She had very low blood pressure last night, and if you don't know anything about that, that means that we could have lost her last night. I'm trying really hard to stay composed. I've cried enough today that I'm not crying right now, which says a lot about my mental state, that I'm out of tears, I think, right now. So that was very hard for me to hear. The second thing is that she had fluid in her lungs because she probably aspirated some saliva while she had the breathing tube to breathe for her during the surgery, so she has to have antibiotics to prevent having her like have pneumonia or anything like that, like having a lung infection basically. And after the surgery, we learned that the vet that she goes to actually doesn't have a night like shift. Our options were to either take her home and have to not sleep to watch her and be ready to leave at any given moment to go to another emergency vet clinic, which is a lot further, or they could go straight from the clinic to the emergency overnight vet, which would be closer, so we decided to do that. But the closest emergency vet from us was completely booked. They had no space to take her, so my parents had to drive really far to another clinic to put her there, basically. So it was a nightmare last night. Heartbreaking, and I'm so stressed out. Currently it's almost 9 a.m. and we will soon be able to call that office for having some news, but they didn't call during the night, which means that normally no emergency happened and she's good. At the end of the morning, they will like do repeat the tests that they did last night to see if she's doing better or not. So there's a possibility that she's coming home today or not, depending on her test results. But basically she's not clotting. No, not clotting. Like, she's not coagulating, I think that's how you say it. Basically, she just keeps bleeding. Her wounds doesn't close, so that's really not good. But I can't do anything from here, so I'm just gonna wait to have some news. I'm also gonna still go to class this morning because I don't have another choice. But I'm gonna keep you guys updated. I didn't think this video would turn out like this, but that's what it is. So I will keep you guys updated, and I'm just gonna try and keep myself as busy as I can to not think. I went to class to try and just take my mind off of things, and my mom ended up coming in during my class when she got the call from the vet, and we got really good news. She was doing pretty okay at that point, so that was really exciting. And my baby is coming home. She's finally coming home. I'm so excited. My mom is on her way now with Skyla. I'm just so grateful. She didn't tell me like what happened yet. I don't know all of it, but basically when I was in class this morning, my mom came in to tell me that her night went well and that she didn't have any problems, but because it was still early in the morning, they didn't have time to run all of the proper tests yet to like confirm that she was fine. But my mom had an appointment to go in, and if everything was fine, she could take her home. They still wanted to check her coagulation, checking that all of that was well, and then also checking her lungs because she still has fluids in her lungs, and they wanted to do some tests to see if they could figure out like what it was and like how to treat it. She will have to be on antibiotics and stuff like that, so she's not out of the woods yet, but at the same time she's not like in immediate danger, but she will have like a recovery to go through, a lot harder than if she just had got spayed and nothing else. But she's on her way now. I'm so excited, and I'm gonna welcome her with a really big hug. I miss her so much. I've never been away, well, I've been away from her, but never like because she wasn't well. It's the first time, so it's heartbreaking for me, but she's home in a little while, so I'm so excited. So this is Skyla coming back from the vet. She was feeling so much better. They gave her some painkillers as well as her antibiotics and stuff, and the painkillers made a world of a difference. That night she even ended up eating a little bit, which was the first time she ate anything, I think, since Monday, so it was a huge step. We literally spoon fed her to make sure she ate. She would not eat any other way, but that was a really exciting step, and I was literally so relieved to see her eat. So the nightmare is continuing. It is now Friday night. It is 5:30 p.m. and Skyla is back at the vet for the second time since I last updated. She came back home yesterday afternoon, and only a couple hours later we couldn't give her any medication. She would not eat them, and we tried everything. She was not eating, she wasn't drinking, and her nose, like her yeah, her nose was hot, and for dogs that could mean they have fever. So we called the vet and they said if she has fever and she cannot have her antibiotic for pneumonia, it's really bad. So we had to drive her back to the vet last night once again, and she did in fact have fever, and they were able to give her injections of the medication. And they told us that if today she wasn't taking her medication, we would have to go back so that they could do injections to have her medication. So this morning she did take her medication. That was like a miracle. We gave her in tuna. We never give her tuna. If we do, it's like a tiny little piece, just like those canned tuna. Like we just give her a tiny little piece for the taste of it. But we were desperate to find a way to make her eat, so we gave her tuna because she loves it. And she did take her meds this morning, but only 2 of them, which were the 2 most important ones. But she took only 1 of her painkillers, and the one she took, the vet said they don't really work, but it could help a little bit, but it wasn't enough. This afternoon she was crying in pain, couldn't move. She was miserable, and she was not drinking. She wasn't doing good. And what made us decide that she needed to go back was she stopped being able to walk. I have a little video, I will pop it here, but basically like every time she would like stand and try to walk, she would like wobble and then fall, and it was like heartbreaking to see. So my mom took her back to the vet again. So she went to the vet 4 times in 3 days. This is a nightmare, but hopefully it's just because she's in so much pain that she can't walk and there's nothing wrong, but we never know with her. And because on Monday, like, she couldn't stand, that's why we're like a little bit iffy. So I will keep you guys updated. This video is about to be like 20 hours long because we're gonna go like 20 times to the vet, so I will keep you updated. So this is me saying goodbye to Skyla before we brought her back to the vet again. She needed her medications. As you can see here, like, she was really weak trying to walk. But she came back home that night and she just was not feeling better. That's just a little clip of her that night on my bed. She just was not feeling good. And the next morning we had to bring her back because she could not stand and she couldn't really breathe. So that was really scary, and we had to bring her back once again. So the nightmare has continued. Skyla had to be admitted to intensive care last night because she couldn't stand anymore and she had a lot of trouble breathing, so she had to be put on oxygen. So it's completely crazy. Yesterday morning, it is now Friday, but on Thursday morning we were getting worried because she still was not eating, she was not doing good. Even after we were able to go on Wednesday to get her meds, the meds didn't help at all. She kept getting worse and worse, and she just could not walk anymore. And at first on Wednesday they said, oh, like, it's because she hasn't eaten in a few days, but like, we had a gut feeling that something was not right, especially because she had a really hard time breathing at times. So we took her back in, and the vet who saw her was like, no, that's definitely not normal, because she like could not like unbend her like back pause. It was really strange, and basically they decided to do every test possible, every blood test possible, and it came back that she had 2 minor internal bleedings again, so that was not good at all. And then also like her potassium levels was crazy low, which is really bad, but that did not explain her condition, how bad she was. But because today is like it's bank holiday, because on Sunday it's going to be Easter, so they sent us to another emergency vet, which is like one of the biggest vet clinics, vet hospital of the country, and they're really, really good there. And so my mom drove her from our local clinic to that vet hospital, and once she got there, she had declined even more, and she had low oxygen levels, so she had to have oxygen. And then they started running like a bunch of tests and stuff, and they came to the conclusion that there was a high probability that she has an autoimmune disorder. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce it. I will put it on the screen, but basically it's an autoimmune disease where the antibodies of the body attacks where the muscles and like the tendons link to the bones, I think, if I understood correctly, and it prevents the muscle from working properly, so that's why she couldn't stand or anything. And in extreme cases, it attacks the muscles from the lungs, so the diaphragm and stuff, so it prevents the dog from breathing. So thank God that we decided to go when we did, because she could have just stopped breathing if it got bad enough. So she got admitted to intensive care. They're not 100% sure that it is that illness, but they are treating her like it is. And if she gets better, then like we will know. But honestly, last night I thought I was going to lose her again for the second time this week. So it was a horrible time. I literally sobbed last night. And I had a blanket that she laid on, and I was like clutching to this blanket because it had her smell, and it was horrible. But today we get to see her. She has to stay until Tuesday hospitalized, and it is Friday, so she's going to be there for a while. So we're gonna bring her some stuff. I have her favorite stuffy. We got her a brand new one because obviously her old one is so like dirty that we didn't really want to bring it to the vet. So we got her a brand new one, and I've been like putting it in my shirt to give it my smell, and we're gonna go see her. I'm just so excited to see her, but also like really, really scared to see how she is. I'm gonna take you along for seeing her. I don't know how much I will be able to film, but yeah, I really want to take you along because you've been following all of this crazy journey. So let's do this. The drive to the vet was literally the most nerve-wracking thing ever. I was so not sure of what I was going to find, but I just also was so happy to see my baby. And this is her. You can see she's still struggling to walk, and she had the like thing on her head to prevent her from scratching herself because she had an oxygen like tube in her nose. I don't know if you can see it very well because she moves a lot, but she had to be put on oxygen, and that's what they do. It was literally stitched to her nose. It was so sad to see, but she couldn't scratch it off, obviously, so she had to have the cone on her head, and she was literally so priceless. I'm so glad that I went to see her, but also after just a few minutes she couldn't really breathe anymore, and she was so tired. Literally she was like falling asleep and not herself at all, but at the same time you can see how smiley she is. She was literally so happy to see her, and this is her falling asleep literally. So that was our visit. So this is going to be the final update. We went to see Skyla yesterday, and she definitely is a lot better. You saw in the footage she could walk. She definitely still had a hard time breathing, but she could be disconnected from the oxygen to see us, so that's a good sign. Unfortunately, because it's like bank holiday weekend, there's not enough like people working at the vet office to have a vet come and talk to us about how she's doing, so we don't really have much information other than seeing her and seeing how she's doing. We're going back today, so I'm pretty happy about how she was yesterday, but after like a few minutes of the visit she started like kind of declining again, getting tired, and she was not doing too well. So it was a short visit, but it was really good for me to be reassured that she's well taken care of. And I am basically going to end this video here. Thank you so much for coming along in this crazy journey. This was not the video I intended it to be. This was supposed to be like a little segment in a weekly vlog or something, and it turned into the biggest ordeal in the world. It's horrible what happened, but hopefully the worst is behind us now, and I'm just gonna keep you updated. I'm planning on doing like a weekly vlog next week, so if you want to see this video, please like this video and subscribe to my channel with the post notification bell on so that you get notified when that video will be up, but it will be the next video after this one. So I'm going to be sharing her coming back home next week and everything, so hopefully I will have like proper updates at that time, because right now nothing's resolved yet. So I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, even though it was like not the best video ever, or at least not the best topic ever. Also, just keep her in your thoughts, please. It means the world to me. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!